What if I told you there's a hidden door right on your body, a key that's been waiting quietly to be touched, ready to unlock an ancient energy inside you? This isn't just a poetic idea, it's real. That key is located right at the base of your skull on the back of your neck. You've probably felt this spot many times without paying much attention to it. But now you're about to learn about its true power. Picture this. Hundreds of years ago, in places like the wide plains of Tibet, the temples of Karnak, and the jungles of southern India, wise people, mystics and sages, used a simple but mysterious technique. They didn't need words, candles, or long chants. All it took was a gentle touch on that one exact spot. With just that small gesture, they could break the barrier between what we see and what we can't see. They didn't spend hours meditating or waiting in silence. They simply touched that point at the base of the skull, and something incredible happened. Something that can't be explained by logic but is deeply felt in every part of the body. It was like a spark being lit inside. So why don't more people talk about this? Because this knowledge was kept secret. It's not taught in yoga classes or self-help books. This kind of wisdom passes quietly from person to person, from soul to soul, among those who are ready to remember. In this conversation, you'll find out what that hidden spot on your neck really is, and why ancient traditions called it a gateway between worlds. You'll learn how to safely and consciously activate it, to awaken the energy lying dormant within you. You'll discover what physical, energetic, and spiritual changes you might feel when you touch it, and you'll see how to bring this into your everyday life, to find a deep sense of presence, clear inner focus, and expanded awareness. But be warned, once you activate this spot, there's no going back. You won't be able to live disconnected anymore. You can't ignore the part of you that's always known. You are more than just a body, more than a name, more than your story. You're about to cross a new threshold, and you'll do it with a single touch. Get ready, because sometimes the knowledge that changes your life doesn't come from famous teachers. It comes as a soft whisper from your own energy, awakening at the base of your skull. To truly understand the importance of this energy point on the back of your neck, you can't just look at it from a modern medical view. You have to dive into the deep history of ancient spiritual traditions, times when the body wasn't seen as a machine, but as a sacred map of the soul. Right where your head ends and your neck begins, ancient people saw more than just bones and muscles. They saw a doorway. This spot, which today we know as the occipital bone area, was believed in many cultures to be a passage, not a physical one, but a spiritual one, a threshold through which energy moves, rising or falling depending on your state of awareness. For example, in ancient Egypt, the initiates of the Temple of Karnak spoke of the eye of the nape. It was an invisible eye that stayed closed for most people, but opened for those who passed certain spiritual tests. This wasn't just a metaphor. Activating this spot was said to bring visions, psychic experiences, and what we might call today altered states of consciousness, though they saw it simply as reconnecting with the original vision of the soul. In traditional Chinese medicine, this spot matches the Feng Fu point, part of the body's energy channels or meridians. Feng Fu means palace of wind, and the name fits because stimulating this point was believed to release trapped, chaotic energies that block the natural flow of life energy, or qi. But this point's meaning went beyond physical health. For Taoists, it was like a back door to heaven, a subtle link between the earthly world and Shen, which is universal consciousness. Even in Indian tantric yoga, this area of the neck relates to the union between the throat chakra, Vishuddha, and the Bindu, a tiny, invisible drop that holds the memory of the divine. Some ancient texts say awakening this spot brings back a nectar-like essence that leads to natural bliss and a feeling of oneness with everything. So why isn't this taught more openly? Because this wisdom isn't something you just understand with your mind. It's something you have to feel deep inside. The ancients knew that the body has doors that open only from within, and this spot at the nape is not just a technique. It's an inner ritual, a quiet call from your own energy. What's even more amazing is that modern science has started to touch on this idea without realizing it. The area around this point is linked to the autonomic nervous system and the brainstem, which control balance, awareness, and senses. Research in neuroscience shows that gentle stimulation of this spot can change brainwave patterns and trigger states of deep relaxation or heightened alertness. Ancient traditions called this awakening. Today, science is slowly catching up. The point at the nape of your neck is more than just a spot on your body. It's a symbol with deep meaning. It's where the base of your skull meets your neck, but it's also a place tied to memory and awakening. Once you become aware of it, you can't ignore it anymore. Every major energy system in the world has a special point like this, a hidden switch that, when activated, wakes up energy that seemed asleep, brings back what was forgotten, and changes what felt stuck. The nape point is no different. In fact, it might be one of the most powerful because it's one of the least understood. This spot is seen in spiritual traditions as a crossroads of energy, but it's not just some mysterious, invisible place. It's a real physical spot on your body that connects directly to your inner energy channels. Why is it so important? Because three major pathways meet here. First, the spinal cord channel, known as Sushumna in tantric teachings, where the kundalini or life force energy travels upward. Second, the connection to the medulla oblongata, which controls automatic body functions like breathing, heart rate, and basic awareness. Third, the link to the body's electromagnetic field, sometimes called the aura, or more scientifically, the human biofield. When you touch this point with care and focus, you activate all three pathways at once. It's like pressing a button that starts up a machine that's been off for a long time, maybe even for many lifetimes. But this button isn't about force. It works through awareness. The touch should be gentle and respectful. You can use your index and middle fingers together, or the pad of your thumb if you want a firmer press. The key is not to push hard, but to press and release, like knocking softly on an inner door. Close your eyes, breathe slowly, and let go of any expectations. Just feel. What happens next? Usually, you'll notice a soft warmth spreading from that spot. Some people feel a tingling that moves up the neck or flows down the spine like a gentle waterfall. Others sense a subtle pressure, like something inside is unlocking. In deeper states, your whole body might feel surrounded by a vibrating magnetic energy. Most importantly, your mind starts to calm down naturally. This is the first sign of awakening. Instead of trying to control everything, the mind lets go. And when the mind quiets, a wider awareness emerges. But why does this simple touch have such an effect? Because the body holds secret maps of energy. This point in the nape is like a shortcut to your internal system. You don't need to activate every chakra or follow complicated breathing exercises. You just need to remember how to come back home. And this point is like a back door to that forgotten home. Touching this spot also helps the two halves of your brain work together better. The logical side and the creative, intuitive side start to communicate in harmony. That's when new ideas pop up, creative solutions appear, and answers that were once hidden become clear. This touch doesn't force anything. It invites, it suggests, and those who accept the invitation find out that their soul never needed to go anywhere. It just needed the right door to be opened. And that door is literally behind you. We've talked about its power, how to activate it, and the energy channels that meet there. Now, let's go deeper. If this point is truly a door, what's behind it? What forces get moving when you open it? And what risks or insights might come from crossing this threshold? First, understand that this point has two sides. It's not just a door that leads upward to expansion. It's also a door that leads inward to the deepest, often forgotten parts of yourself. When opened correctly, it doesn't just wake up energy. It also shines light on your hidden shadows. That's where real transformation begins. In many traditions, this spot is linked to the ability to see beyond the surface, not in a physical way, but by connecting to subtler levels of reality. When this pathway opens, your perception shifts. Your senses sharpen, time feels slower, and you start to notice things you didn't see before. Not because they weren't there, but because your awareness wasn't ready. Some people become more sensitive to the feelings of others, can sense future events, or pick up on energy patterns in people or places. This isn't imagination. It's what happens naturally when an internal circuit switches on after being off for a long time. It's like removing a blindfold from the soul's eyes. But just like any powerful tool, this access comes with responsibility. Activating this point can bring up old memories, hidden traumas, and deep patterns. This isn't punishment. It's part of the process, a cleansing of the energy channels. Think of it like an old pipe that hasn't been used in decades. When you open the valve, dirty water comes out first, then clean water flows. That's how energy works in us too. That's why it's important to combine this practice with stillness, mindful breathing, and if you can, journaling or quiet reflection. The sensations, images, and memories that come up after activating this point might not always make sense at first, but they carry messages. Those messages can help you change how you see and experience yourself. This point also works like a powerful amplifier of your intention. Have you ever noticed how, in moments of stress or clarity, people instinctively touch the back of their neck? That's not an accident. The body remembers. Once this spot has been consciously activated, it becomes a quiet power center that strengthens your purpose, draws your focus, and aligns your choices with your true self. It's also a little-known balancing center for your body, mind, and spirit. When you feel lost, disconnected, or overwhelmed, a mindful touch here can quickly bring you back to your center. It's not just about energy, it's about alignment. And alignment is what allows energy to flow freely without blockages. In advanced practices, some people report even more extraordinary experiences, seeing their own or others' auras, feeling themselves expand into the world around them, connecting with memories from past lives, or feeling deeply united with all of existence. This isn't magic, it's spiritual physiology. It's the art of activating the sacred within the physical body. It shows that you don't have to look anywhere else to find the divine. It's already inside you, right at the base of your skull. A spiritual insight alone doesn't change your life. What truly transforms you is how you bring that insight into your daily routine. Learning that there's a special spot at the nape of your neck that can wake up hidden energy inside your body is a powerful discovery, no doubt. But that knowledge only becomes real and meaningful when you use it in everyday life. You don't need to become a monk or have a special temple, incense, or bells. All you need is your body and your presence. Your true temple is your attention, and your altar is that sacred point where your head meets your spine. Here are 5 simple tips to help you turn this wisdom into a practical tool for transformation. First, start your day with a gentle touch. Make the first few minutes of your morning a small ritual. Before opening your eyes fully, bring your hand softly to the nape of your neck. Breathe deeply, press lightly on that spot with your fingers, and stay there for a moment. Don't think, just feel. With this simple act, you're telling your body that the day begins not out of obligation, but by choice. This morning touch helps align your energy, calms your nervous system and awakens a sense of inner direction. Second, create a quick reconnecting ritual 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and night. Pause whatever you're doing for just a minute. Bring your attention to the nape point. Breathe deeply and press gently with awareness. Notice how your energy shifts. This simple gesture centers your mind and reminds you that no matter the chaos around you, there's a deeper calm inside. Doing this regularly builds an energy compass, a steady anchor in life's storms. Third, activate this point before meditation or creative work. Before you dive into spiritual practice, art, or quiet reflection, touch the nape point with intention. It's like ringing a silent bell within yourself. You'll find your mind clears faster, distractions fade, and your focus deepens. Once awakened, this point acts like a conductor, organizing your energy so everything you do aligns with your true self. Fourth, use this touch as emotional medicine. Feeling anxious, sad, or stuck? This point can be your quiet healer. Instead of pushing away tough feelings, approach them gently. Press the spot with kindness. Physical contact with this center, especially when emotions run high, helps balance your inner energy. You're not suppressing feelings, you're giving them a safe path to flow through. Fifth, make sleep a doorway to healing and activation. Before you drift off, give your nape one last gentle touch as you breathe slowly. This can be the difference between restless sleep and deep restoration. This nightly ritual opens doors to your subconscious, inviting lucid dreams, insights, and deep healing. Sleep becomes not just rest, but a connection to your inner world. Remember, this isn't about doing more, but about doing what you already do with more awareness. Touching the nape point isn't a trick. It's a reminder of your energy, your inner strength, and the wisdom flowing through you like a quiet fire. Each time you do it, you're telling yourself, I'm not lost, I'm coming home. And sometimes that's all it takes to find your center again. This isn't an ordinary journey. If you've read this far, it means your soul has already started to remember the nape point. That quiet, almost forgotten spot isn't just an anatomical detail or a spiritual fad. It's a hidden compass pointing back to yourself. When touched with respect and awareness, it can awaken what's been asleep. Not because it's magical on its own, but because it helps you remember your original energy. That energy that flowed freely when you were a child. That knowing that didn't need words. That deep feeling of being connected to everything, which you might have thought was lost, but it never really was. In ancient cultures, this point was more than a physical place. It was the root of remembering, the antenna linking humans to the invisible spirit world. In the temples of Sumer, the sacred halls of Tibet, and the rituals of ancient Americas, this knowledge was passed from person to person, body to body, vibration to vibration. So why has it disappeared in modern times? Because we live in a world that disconnects us. We've been taught to think with the mind, but not to feel with the body. To collect facts, but not wisdom. To rush forward without pausing. To look outward and forget that the door was always inside. But now that you've found it again, there's no turning back. Your body remembers. And when the body remembers, the soul starts to come home. This practice doesn't demand fanaticism or perfection. It just asks for your presence, a commitment to your own journey, and the humility to realize that the most sacred place isn't far away in the sky. It's right here at the base of your skull. That forgotten bone hides a drum that's always been beating. Each time you touch that spot, you remind your energy of its path. You tell the universe, I'm here, present and ready. And the universe, which has never stopped listening, answers back. Now it's your turn. If this message touched something inside you, if you felt a vibration like an old string being tuned, please subscribe, like, and share this with others who sense there's more to life. This knowledge doesn't belong to one person. It belongs to everyone ready to wake up. And if you're reading these words, you already are. Remember, this isn't just a technique. It's a key, not a trend, but a legacy. Not something new, but something eternal that has only just begun. See you on the next part of the journey. Until then, touch with awareness, breathe with presence, and let your body guide you back home. For centuries, the female body has been a hidden territory, manipulated and silenced. And inside that mystery lies a phenomenon worshipped in secret temples, censored by patriarchal religions, and reduced to sensationalism in the dark corners of the internet. Squirting. Many have seen it, few understand it, some chase it like a sexual trophy. But what if it's something more? What if the fluid that comes out isn't just liquid, but the bottled-up energy of generations of women? What if that stream isn't just pleasure, but the soul breaking free from emotional chains? Today on Protocolo Occulto, we're diving into a journey through physiology, spirituality, science, and taboo. We're not here to teach you how to do it. We're here to explain why it happens and what it really means. Because when the uterus speaks, it doesn't use words, it speaks with water. Stick with us until the end, because you'll never see pleasure the same way again. And if you're new here, subscribe now, because we don't just repeat what's already been said. We've come to shed light where there's only been darkness. For years, we've been told squirting is just a simple reflex. Overstimulation of a spot called the G-spot, a mix of glands, nerves, and intense arousal. But that's just the tip of the iceberg, because what many women feel in that moment doesn't look like pleasure. It looks like crying. Not tears of sadness, but tears of release, surrender, letting go of something trapped for years, something without words that can only become water. The ancient tantrics understood this. In their oldest texts on sacred sexuality, they spoke of Amrita, the nectar of the gods that flows from a woman's body when she reaches total openness. It's not an orgasm, but a trance, a doorway to another reality that happens when the body completely lets go. And when that barrier is crossed, the water flows, because water doesn't lie. Water can't stay where there's pain. As emotion, symbol, and energy, water is pure movement. When it gets stuck in a woman's body because of trauma, shame, abuse, repression, or self-censorship, it turns into silent pressure until something, someone, or a moment of love and vulnerability breaks it. That's when squirting happens, not as a bedroom trick, but as a psychoenergetic release of years of blockages from the second chakra, the center of water, creativity, sexuality, and uterine memory. There live not only the emotions of this life, but, according to ancient teachings, unresolved memories of past generations, women who could never speak, scream, or allow themselves to feel, whose pain silently echoes through blood and DNA. Squirting can be an orgasm of the soul, a kind of liquid crying of the womb, when the body surrenders not to pleasure, but to freedom. And many women know this, even if they don't say it out loud, because afterward they don't feel euphoria, they feel peace, like something has been returned to its origin. Like an ancient wound has been cleansed by that sacred water. That's why what comes out in that moment isn't vulgarity, porn, or excess. It's truth. And in a world that turns everything into a spectacle, maybe it's time to look deeper, because the soul needs release too, and sometimes it does that through water. And you, what haven't you let flow yet? Don't go anywhere. In the next segment, we'll explore what science says and what it's still hiding about this phenomenon, because understanding the mystery is part of healing it. If you haven't already, subscribe now and share this episode with someone who deserves to reconnect with their body's wisdom. We live in a time that dissects everything just to believe in something. The sacred is no longer honored, it's analyzed. So when stories of squirting began to surface from brave women, science rushed in with test tubes. They wanted to know exactly what that fluid was. Female prostatic secretion or something else? What they found was both confusing and revealing. In many cases, the fluid had urea, creatinine, and uric acid, things usually found in urine. Yet they also found prostate-specific antigen, PSA, produced only by the Skene's glands, tiny structures on the front vaginal wall next to the urethra. Mysterious forgotten glands some call the female prostate, glands that might hold the key to this mystery. But why the rush to explain everything biologically? Because if squirting can't be controlled, faked, or triggered by the mind, then it challenges a system that demands everything. Be logical, repeatable, and obedient. Here's a hidden truth few dare to say out loud. The female body, at its most unpredictably free, is mysterious, wild, and spiritual. And squirting, more than a physical event, symbolizes that sacred rebellion, the moment a woman's body stops following outside rules and starts acting from deep within, where neither thought nor will controls. Science tries to capture it, but even in technical terms, pieces of the truth slip away. Independent researchers have shown squirting can happen without direct genital stimulation, through breathwork, deep emotional connection, or certain tantric poses alone, which brings up an uncomfortable question. If there's no friction, what's being activated? What's activated is energy, and that energy spirals upward, born at the base of the body, rising like an awakening serpent. But if there are blockages or wounds, that energy pools in the womb, the center of water, until it finds a crack and bursts free. That's why many women say squirting happens when they're not looking for it, when they least expect it, when they fully let go. In other words, when the soul takes over. And maybe that's what unsettles the system the most. It can't control it, can't fake it, can't make it happen on demand, because it's real, and real is always free. If you're here, it's no coincidence. Maybe you're remembering something your body knows, even if your mind doesn't, something waiting to come out, not as words, but as water, water that cleanses, reveals, and heals. And do you still think this is just an orgasm? Subscribe if this channel speaks to something deeper inside you. Here, we don't explain, we remember. And remembering isn't just understanding, it's letting go. Most people don't realize that the uterus, that often forgotten center of the female body, not only creates biological life, but also stores emotional life. Every unresolved relationship, every missed touch, every sexual trauma, every unspoken hurt, it leaves a mark not on the mind, but in the water, in that silent space that, when it overflows, doesn't scream, but flows. Squirting isn't just a physical act, it's a ritual. Unconscious, maybe spontaneous, but deeply meaningful. In that stream of liquid, sometimes gentle, sometimes powerful, there's no lust. There's truth, a truth that goes beyond the bedroom, beyond porn, beyond how-to guides. Because no one teaches you how to cry from your soul. No one trains you to empty uterine memories that aren't even yours but live inside you. But one day, with the right person, or even alone, in connection with your body, your breath, your silence, it happens. The body opens a door the mind never knew was there, and through that door comes not just physical fluid, but the vibration of something deeper: permission. Permission to feel, to let go, to surrender control. Permission not to fake it, to be body and soul at the same time. Many women who experience it can't even put it into words. Some feel shame, others tears, not sadness, but relief. Because in that release there's not just fluid, but freed memories, embraced inner children, healed ancestral wounds, and permission to enjoy without fear, duty, or rules. And that's what patriarchy fears most. A woman who lets her soul be free through pleasure, because she becomes unstoppable, not controlled, persuaded, or confined. She comes home, to her body, to her center. When squirting is real, you don't chase it. It shows up, and when it does, it transforms. Not just those who see it, but those who live it. Because that overflowing moment reflects the soul's cry, "I can't hold this in anymore." And maybe that's one of the most sacred acts still alive in a sleeping humanity. A body remembering its truth and letting it flow without asking permission. Here on Protocolo Occulto, we're not here to give answers. We're here to whisper questions only your soul can answer. If you've made it this far, it's because something inside you also longs to be released. Subscribe, because the next secrets we reveal might shake your body, your memory, your awareness. And when awareness wakes up, the body stops being just matter and becomes a messenger. Many have tried to strip squirting of its mystery, turning it into mere biology. But biology can't explain why, after that release, many women feel like they've crossed a threshold, coming back from a place they never knew they entered. An internal, formless space where the repressed waited to be healed. We're not talking about a simple physical reaction, but an energetic process born in the water center, the Adhisthana chakra, connecting to the spine, heart, and throat. That's why squirting often comes with tears, laughter, strange sounds, or total silence. It's not just pleasure, it's catharsis. And here's the deepest truth. This can be one of the most powerful keys to unlocking feminine creative energy, because when that water flows, it also opens the channel of creation. That's why after a true natural squirting, many women feel a rush of inspiration, clarity, and life force. It's like the soul whispers, "Thank you for opening the gate. Now I can express myself." In ancient tantric traditions, this wasn't a coincidence. Squirting was seen as a sign of spiritual awakening, a ritual of emotional and energetic cleansing, like a sacred spring washing not just the woman's body but her whole lineage. That's why it was both revered and feared. Today, though, it's been trivialized, turned into a spectacle, a technique, a trophy to be earned. But it's not an achievement, it's an act of complete trust from the body to the soul, or to the one sharing the experience. That changes everything. A woman doesn't make herself squirt. Squirting chooses her, like tears choose to fall when emotion can't be held back. Like truth chooses to speak when it finds a willing vessel. So instead of chasing it, we need to honor it. And if you've ever experienced it, even once, even quietly, even without knowing what it was, know this: it was no accident. It was a message from your body, your soul, or maybe from all the women inside you, who, through you, finally released what centuries of repression held back. Share this episode with someone who needs to remember her body isn't broken. Her sensitivity isn't too much, and her water is sacred. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. What's coming will stir memories you didn't even know you had. And when those memories rise, reality shifts. not with fireworks, but quietly, like a river finding a crack in the rock and carving a new path. After releasing that inner water, many women find they can't go back to certain places, certain people, certain silent agreements. Something breaks, but it's not evil that breaks. It's the prison. An invisible cage built by centuries of repression, shame, fear of desire, religious guilt, and a lack of proper sex education. A prison without bars where many grew up believing their body's only job was to please, not to feel. Then, one day, the body takes over, and in that sacred wet release, it speaks what was never spoken. Squirting isn't just discharge. It's a message, a hidden language, an ancestral code. That's why some women experience it as rebirth. A woman who frees herself there is never the same. It's as if in that wild flow, the most silenced part of herself finally cries out. Here's something you won't find in any medical book or viral video. Some women literally change their voice afterward, because the sexual chakra, the adhisthana, and the throat chakra are deeply connected. When one unlocks, the other responds. Voice softens, words come easier, creativity wakes up, and the woman remembers who she is, not with her mind, but through her body. This can't be forced or obsessed over, or else it becomes a performance, and the soul doesn't perform. The soul waits for you to let it through. The real happens when expectations fall away, when the moment is genuine, when there's presence, and above all, safety. Squirting doesn't come from an excited body, but from a confident one. A body that feels at home, has let down its guard, made peace with its past, and in a moment of full surrender, opens the gate without fear. Do you see now why this topic has been mocked, silenced, or twisted? Because its power, and true feminine power, flowing from within, is the biggest threat to a culture that wants bodies obedient, dry, quiet, and asleep. Here at Protocolo Occulto, we didn't come looking for scandal. We came to reclaim what was sacred before they called it dirty. If you're on that path too, you know what to do. Subscribe and stick around, because healing knowledge has always been hidden in the waters. In the end, it comes down to this. The soul needs to weep, and sometimes it does that with water. Water that doesn't come from the eyes, but from the uterus. Water born not of sadness, but of release. Water that doesn't warn, ask permission, or explain. It just flows because it can't stay inside anymore. There's no more room for silence. This episode wasn't about sex. It was about memory, energy, the secret language of the female body, which when it feels safe, loved, and free, lets itself be. A portal to truth, a portal to healing, a portal to a kind of pleasure that doesn't just excite, it transforms. And maybe now you understand why this isn't taught in schools, why it's rarely spoken of, why it's mocked, pornified, hidden. Because a woman who owns this power can no longer be silenced, controlled, or diminished. A woman who's released her sacred water has buried fear, and that can't be controlled. So if you've lived this, don't deny it, don't downplay it, don't be ashamed. You've been a vessel for something greater, and if you haven't experienced it yet, don't chase it. Prepare yourself with presence, love, and truth, because the soul always finds a way when the body is ready to let go. And you, man, if you ever witness this, remember, you're not the author, you're the guardian. Be presence, not pride. Be altar, not stage. What stands before you is not a show, but a ritual, and the sacred is honored in silence. This may have been uncomfortable for many, but it's necessary for all. because what we've spoken today in words, many have felt for lifetimes. And maybe, just maybe, this is how the female soul begins to reclaim its temple. Thanks for staying until the end, for not looking away when it was easy to do so, for opening yourself to something that teaches. Remember, subscribe if this channel speaks to your soul. Share if you believe this message can help other women remember what they've always known. Comment if you've experienced this, or if now you finally understand what really happened the day your soul became water. Until next time, because what isn't named stays trapped, and we're here to release it. What if I told you that every night, without even realizing it, you might be hurting your health, draining your energy, and messing with your future just because you don't know how to sleep right? It's not just about how many hours you spend in bed. It's about how good those hours actually are. You could be clocking 8 hours and still wake up feeling wiped out, anxious, or inflamed, like you never got any real rest. Poor sleep doesn't just zap your energy, it steals your life. And the scary part, most people don't even realize they're sleeping badly until their body starts breaking down. When you sleep poorly on the regular, your heart ages faster. Your brain holds on to toxins that could cause Alzheimer's. Your cells don't repair properly and your vital energy starts to fade. But what if you could sleep so deeply your body heals itself? No pills needed. Today, I'm going to show you not just how, but why you need to sleep completely differently from what you've been told. I'll share ancient secrets, science-backed methods, and bedtime routines that have changed thousands of lives. Stick with me till the end because I'm about to reveal an old-school technique almost nobody knows. Try it tonight, and it could be the key to waking up feeling truly alive again. Before we go on, tell me in the comments, what's your biggest sleep issue? Trouble falling asleep? Waking up in the middle of the night, or just feeling drained when morning comes? Write it down. You're not alone. This video is for you. Sleeping well isn't just closing your eyes and waiting for morning. It's about hitting a deep state where your body and soul actually regenerate. Here's the secret. Not all sleep hours are equal. You can sleep 8 or even 10 hours and still wake up feeling like something inside you is broken. Why? Because quality beats quantity. And nobody told you that. When you sleep, your body cycles through stages. There's one super important phase, deep sleep, where the real repair magic happens. Your brain flushes out toxins built up during the day. Your heart recovers from the day's stress. Your cells regenerate, heal, and rebuild. Your emotions get sorted and your memories get stored. But if you never hit that stage, or if it's constantly broken up by racing thoughts, anxiety, or bad habits, your sleep doesn't do you any good. What happens inside your body while you sleep matters more than any diet, workout, or supplement. In fact, recent research shows that missing out on deep sleep is linked directly to Alzheimer's, chronic depression, heart attacks, hormone issues, and faster aging. Ever feel wiped out even after hours of sleep? Grumpy, emotionally distant, unmotivated, like something's pressing down on you. Maybe it's not that you lack energy. Maybe you're just not really sleeping. You're spending the night without ever reaching that deep place where body and soul get restored. The good news? There's a fix, and you don't need expensive meds or supplements. You just need to reconnect with your natural rhythm. Sleeping well is a biological right, but it's also a spiritual practice. Coming up, I'll teach you simple, natural, and powerful techniques to help you do exactly that. Want to learn how to kickstart your body's healing while you sleep? Did you know there's a way of breathing that can literally turn off stress in your body like flipping a switch? Because true rest doesn't start the moment you close your eyes. It starts when your nervous system stops sounding the alarm. Most people stay on high alert even while sleeping. Here's where one of the most powerful secrets for deep sleep comes in. Conscious breathing. Not just any breathing, but methods used for centuries in Eastern traditions, now backed by science. How you breathe can activate your body's repair system. When you breathe fast, shallow, or anxiously, your body triggers the fight or flight response. But when you breathe slow, deep, and steady, you activate the rest and digest system. This system says, "You're safe now. Time to relax and heal." One simple technique is called 4-on-7-8 breathing, a ritual to help you sleep better. It's helped thousands get deep sleep even when struggling with stubborn insomnia. Let's try it together. First, breathe in gently through your nose while counting to 4. Feel your lungs fill with air. No force. Second, hold your breath for 7 seconds. This calms your mind and fuels your cells. Third, exhale slowly through your mouth while counting to 8. Imagine releasing all your tension, anxiety, and stress. You can repeat this cycle 4 to 6 times before bed. The best part? You don't need anything extra, just your breath, your focus, and your choice to relax. You'll notice your heart rate slow down, your mind quiet, and your soul start to come back to your body. One variation is the Chinese extended exhale technique. Here's another simple, old-school method. Breathe out twice as long as you breathe in. For example, inhale to a count of 4, then exhale to 8. Or if you prefer, inhale to 5, exhale to 10. It's not about the numbers, but about your intention. Extending your exhale tells your body it's okay to stop fighting. This kind of breathing is perfect if you're tense, had a stressful day, or just want to slip into deep calm before sleep. Try it for 2 minutes and notice how your energy shifts. Picture this. You're on a battlefield. Noise, tension, danger everywhere. But you still need to sleep because without rest, your body will break down. It's in that extreme setting that one of the most incredible tricks for falling asleep in under 2 minutes was born. Even if you have insomnia, even if your mind won't shut off, even if everything around you feels chaotic, this is known as the military sleep method. Pilots, soldiers, and people under intense stress have used it to get deep rest no matter what's going on. How does it work? By combining 2 key parts, relaxing your muscles step by step and guided visualization. Let's break it down. First, relax your face, soften your jaw, loosen your eyelids. Feel every muscle in your face let go. A lot of us hold tension here without realizing it, and that keeps our brains on high alert. Next, let your chest relax. Take a deep breath out and feel your chest and torso soften, almost like they're gently sinking into the bed. Then, relax your arms and legs. Imagine each part getting heavier and heavier. Start with your hands, then move up through your arms and shoulders. Then down your legs from your feet to your hips. Do it with purpose. Turn off each muscle like you're flipping off light switches one by one. Now, the visualization part. Close your eyes and picture yourself in a totally quiet, safe place. A meadow under a starry sky, a dark room with soft walls, or floating in a warm lake at sunset. Let that peaceful image wrap around you. If your mind starts to wander like it usually does, gently tell yourself, "Don't think, don't think." Say it calmly like a mantra and keep coming back to your calm place. This isn't just about sleep, it's training your mind, a direct way to turn off your nervous system. With practice, it becomes one of your best tools to get real rest. Even if you've dealt with insomnia for years, many people say they didn't get it right the first time, but after a few tries, they fall asleep without even realizing it. Don't underestimate it. Try it tonight and see what happens. They say you are what you eat, and it's true that you sleep the way you eat. What you put into your body before bed can make the difference between a night of deep rest or tossing and turning. Sometimes the stuff that seems harmless is quietly messing with your sleep. Some foods that actually help you sleep better include warm milk. That's not just an old wives' tale. Milk has tryptophan, an essential amino acid. Your body turns into serotonin, then melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep. Drinking a glass of warm milk before bed not only relaxes your body but also tells your brain it's time to sleep. Bananas are a great late-night snack, loaded with magnesium and vitamin B6, which help relax your muscles and calm your nervous system. They also have tryptophan, which boosts their natural sleep-inducing effect. Nuts like almonds and walnuts give you natural melatonin and healthy fats that keep your blood sugar steady all night, preventing sudden wake-ups. Just a small handful is enough. No need to overload your digestion. Try mixing them into a smoothie with banana and plant-based milk for a new nightly ritual. On the flip side, chocolate, especially dark chocolate, is best avoided if you want solid rest. It may seem harmless or even soothing, but it has caffeine and theobromine, stimulants that can keep you wired longer than you think. Coffee, black tea, and sodas are also trouble. Even if you drink them in the afternoon, caffeine can stay in your system for up to 8 hours. That 5 p.m. cup could be why you're still awake at 1 a.m. Alcohol is tricky too. It helps you fall asleep fast but messes with deep sleep cycles, causing you to wake up lightly multiple times and feel drained in the morning. Heavy or super fatty dinners work against you too. Your digestion stays active while you sleep, causing acidity, discomfort, and bloating that interrupt deep sleep. Remember, good sleep starts in your stomach. Don't underestimate the power of a light, mindful, nutrient-rich dinner. Make small changes tonight. Swap your afternoon coffee for herbal tea, cut sugar, eat earlier, and watch your sleep improve night after night. Your bedroom isn't just a room. It's a sanctuary where your body heals and your soul finds its center. But too often, we turn this sacred space into chaos. Screens left on, noise, bright lights, clutter everywhere. How can your body get into deep sleep when your environment is constantly yelling, "Stay alert"? Just closing your eyes isn't enough. You've got to create a vibe that whispers rest in every corner. First, the pillow. More important than you probably realize. If you wake up with neck pain, stiffness, or tension, the problem might be right under your head. A pillow that's too high puts your neck in an awkward position. One that's too low offers no support at all. The perfect pillow keeps your neck and spine aligned so your head feels like it's floating effortlessly. Second, the mattress. Not a luxury, but an investment in your health. A good mattress can totally change how well you rest. If you struggle with lower back pain, go for medium firmness, something supportive but flexible. Think about it. You spend a third of your life on that mattress. What if every night could be truly healing just because you're resting on the right support? Third, your sleeping position. your body talks too. Sleeping on your stomach can cause tension in your neck and spine. It's not the best. Sleeping on your back helps some, but for others, it can increase snoring or breathing problems. The best position is on your side, especially your left side. Why? It helps digestion, reduces acid reflux, improves lymph flow, and boosts circulation to your heart. Even how you lie down can either help or hurt your body. Fourth, the environment. Turn your bedroom into a sanctuary. Use blackout curtains to keep outside light out. Keep the room cool, ideally between 60 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. If noise bothers you, try earplugs or a white noise machine like rain, waves, or wind sounds. The goal is to make your nervous system feel totally safe. Only then can it fully relax. Turn off screens at least an hour before bed and keep your phone away from your nightstand. Light a soft lamp or an aromatic candle and treat your bed like an altar, not just a place to sleep, but a place to heal. Tonight, walk into your bedroom like it's a sacred space, because when your body feels safe, rest comes naturally, and what once felt impossible starts to flow. Sleeping well is a sacred act, and ancient cultures knew that. Before bed, they had simple rituals to prepare body and mind to let go of the day. Natural teas like chamomile, lavender, or valerian to soothe the nervous system. Short, mindful naps like the Japanese inamuri, no longer than 30 minutes to refresh without messing with nighttime sleep. And consistent evening routines. Reading, dimming the lights, soft music, to train the subconscious for rest. It's not about complexity, but about creating a small ritual that tells your body, now you can let go, now you can heal. Maybe you've been there. Your body is worn out, your eyelids heavy, but your mind just won't stop, replaying what you did, what you said, what's left undone, what you have to do tomorrow. It's like having constant background noise, and that noise keeps you from resting. An overactive mind is one of the biggest enemies of deep sleep. But there's a simple, powerful, almost magical tool to quiet it. Writing before bed. Yes, writing, not as a chore, but as a way to close the day and clear your mind. Picture your brain like a computer with 30 tabs open. Writing helps you close them one by one. What can you write? Tomorrow's to-do list, worries spinning in your head, ideas or feelings you don't want to forget, or just 3 things you're grateful for today. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not about fancy writing or neat structure, just emptying onto the page what doesn't belong in your bed. This small habit packs a big punch. It eases nighttime anxiety, clears your thoughts, helps you fall asleep faster, and signals your subconscious it's safe to rest now. You can even turn it into a ritual. Before bed, light a candle. Open your notebook and ask yourself, what do I need to let go of today to sleep peacefully? Then write it all down. Spend 5 minutes each night doing this and watch your mind start to shift. How anxiety fades and calm takes over. It's like your soul seeing the notebook, knows it's time to lower the volume and stop fighting. Sleeping isn't just closing your eyes. It's letting go of holding up the world for a few hours. That only happens when your mind trusts and your heart calms down. Sleeping well isn't a luxury. It's a way to come back to yourself. A way to let your body heal, your soul rest, and your day end peacefully. Every night is a sacred chance to release what weighs you down and heal from the inside out. If anything here spoke to you, let tonight be the start of a new cycle, where rest is intentional, conscious, and loving. If you feel you deserve peaceful sleep, hit like. Let me know in the comments what you're going to try tonight to sleep better. subscribe, and hit the bell to get notified when we share more tools to lift your inner well-being. Thanks for reading this far. May tonight and every night after bring you deep, healing rest.